amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Moskin, Cam Water.
First time here for season 3. Davis on pole, Vandergren in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here. Daytona was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vandergren in behind. Cowan's absolutely blocked it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Gallen and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survive for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. And they offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride, whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride.
ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono, who's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowan as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come, spread out around towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look to run the motorcade, looking to car spun down, that's Jordan Ferguson offline.
Is a green. Right Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, he's on the outside line. De Bono, he's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns for 2 and 3? They go round the right hander, dropping down the hill. Faulkner's out in front. No real dramas going into turn.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Moskin, Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to snip on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tannock and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't implemented, which is fair enough. It's pretty scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we get a good run. He's up the odds, just absolute thinker, but it's a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sim Racing World TV. And welcome into round number 7 of Season 3 of 2024 for the Warren Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship here on Sunday nights for Oran Park Raceway, the beginning of, not the beginning, the continuation of our Australian triple header here for the Warren Brown Tools V8 Supercars Series. I'm your commentator here tonight, as always, Hamish Munro, joined once again by Stephen Sinkovic. Sinker, happy Father's Day to you, but also, what a great place to go racing. I saw some of the action on Tuesday night while I was away, and it looked pretty epic out there, and I'm hoping we get just a little snippet of what happened on Tuesday in this race here tonight.
Mate, it was goosebumps galore. It was definitely a lot of fun, and it will be a lot of fun tonight too, so everyone strap in as I put it in there. Get ready for some mega racing at a ghost track, mate, because it no longer exists. As many other legendary tracks are slowly disappearing, but the boys are going to put on a mega show. We've already got some super fast times out there. The boys on Tuesday night were struggling to get into the fours. There's only one, I think, reached the fours, and that was in quali. But we've already got the top, what do you mean, top 10, top 9 under 105s. So excellent times, excellent.
And all of them are drivers who do not drive on Tuesday night either. They're all drivers who only race on Sunday, at least as of recently. Everyone else who either only races on Sunday or races on Tuesday is in behind them at this stage. We've got 16 cars in the session tonight, so not too bad for what is a, I don't want to call it a public holiday, but it's Father's Day. It's a special day. Yeah. So it's pretty good that we at least still have somewhat good numbers tonight, even with Father's Day on. I know we've previously had issues where we went head-to-head with Easter and had to put it back a whole week.
Look, and it's also a track, it's a 50-50 track. You either love it or you hate it. And people tend to sometimes panic with this track and think it's going to be too packed and crowded, so they have to give it a skip as well. So it is what it is, and we've got a few people away on work as well. So that's another little bug, but it's life. We go on, me and you have a bit of fun, and it's going to be an absolute pearler.
Yeah, I think, this track, you talk about it being, maybe some people perceive it as being too tight, or you don't have any opportunities to make overtakes. You can get it done around here. It's a track that, if you can get the flow right, get into that rhythm, and just get yourself hitting your marks every single corner, every single lap after lap, you can find opportunities to get moves done, namely pretty much all the first sector. You can line some moves up, whether it's down in towards turn 2 under brakes, even up and around before the bridge, and then as well, even into the final corner, you can get a passing opportunity done in there. But one of the major things I think is actually important for some of these drivers tonight is actually surviving from the pressure, but also being able to apply the pressure to other cars. Because if you can force a mistake in the mid-sector of this track, someone could be off in the weeds, cutting some grass, and you're just picking up position for free. So I think it's going to be important. They have to hit those marks. They have to keep their eyes forward and keep their minds off the pressure that's being applied to them from behind.
Well, if it's anything like Tuesday night, Benici said it was a stellar race on Tuesday night. BJ36 has had a trolley run away in the pits in this place. Look, if it was anything like Tuesday night, it's going to be epic. We had some amazing fighting. You've got to back yourself on this track when the passing opportunity's on, but when it's not on, it's not on, and it's a really fine line. And we saw young fella on what's his name? I can't remember his name. Anyway, racing at the front with Cowie, just touched Cowie a little. No, it wasn't Billy Mole. Just a little bit too hard across the back tailgate and spun him round with Cowie with about 5 laps to go in the first stint. Yes. So yeah, it was a beautiful race. There's a lot of good fighting. Fuel strategy is going to be a key in the feature as well. We saw a lot of that on track fighting and fuel saving and everything like that, and the pit exchanges were pretty spectacular, and that told another story again. So, mate, it's gonna be awesome. I'm getting a bit of, just thinking about it, getting a bit of goosebumps, because we know how epic this track is and some of the really finer points of where you can pass, where you can't pass, and where people just are absolutely crazy to try to pass, like the bridge. So we'll see what happens. Here they all coming out for quality now.
You think qualifying is going to be ultra important tonight, or do you think maybe if someone can maybe get a poor qualifying in but actually have some good race pace, they can make their way up towards the front of the field?
On, man, you really got to be tuned into this track, because it can be dusty in spots as well. If someone goes off track, it's dusty. If you get a tyre going off the track, that tyre is not going to give you full grip as well. So there's a lot of dirt around the edges here. You got to get it right. You just got to be spot on for when you want to make that pass. And with these guys, how close they pass and how close they drive to each other, I think it's going to be important for the collies. I think it really is, because the opportunities of passing, the amount of mistakes that they make in these guys are limited compared to what there is on a Tuesday night, and the pace is a lot closer as well on a Sunday night, spread across the field as well. So I think, yeah, quality is going to be important, but it's also going to make it a bit more spectacular, because it's going to be some close head to tail, toe to arse, everything. It's going to be crazy.
I think then there's not that much toe opportunities around here, of course. Pretty much only the main straight is prime opportunity of getting a toe in the car. Do we think, say, if the likes of Rehan can qualify on pole, withstand the pressure from in behind, and if a car, say, who's in P2, we'll use Dylan Gray for example, if he comes under pressure from Ty Delaney, if, say, these three cars on track right now were together on track in the race, do we think Rehan runs away from them eventually? Like, do we honestly think that Dylan or Ty or anyone else could actually hang with him, but hang with him enough to actually put the pressure on him and force a move on him?
Well, the only real place you're going to get a real decent draft is you've got to get that last corner right. You've got to be right on the tail, right on the... Well, we know the exhaust isn't at the back, but right on the exhaust tip, coming around that last corner and getting the right... having your car facing the right way for the entry to get the speed down. So that's going to be crucial. But the other problem they're going to have as well is these fighting. If Rehan can get fast and pull away, he's going to hit back markers a lot quicker tonight. A lot quicker. So that's going to be an issue for him as well, because the space to allow a back marker through is fairly limited as well. It's not like you've got a lot of straights. It's all S's, one big long straight. S's, one big long straight. There's not a real lot of clean areas to get out of the way. So the blue flag is going to be an issue tonight. They're going to have to be really, really careful.
I think what they're realistically going to have to get used to tonight is actually racing to the real life blue flag rule, or racing in the mindset of the real life blue flag rule, where they may not necessarily be able to move out of your way at some point in this lap, so it might just take a little bit of patience from you, and then you go for the move. They're not allowed to defend it because they have blue flags. I feel like that part of the rule suits this track a little bit better, but it comes down to how patient the faster driver is to actually wait for the rule to be enforced correctly. Because
you've got three corners.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we saw a perfect example of it in Billy Mole and Andrew Cowan in the last lap of the feature on Tuesday night. It was I think it was
Rushworth. It was Rushworth up towards
Rushworth. Was it Rushworth? Yeah. Actually pulled off in the second last, between the second last and last corner, out of the way, and we were like jumping out of our seats, and JP was like, get out of the way, get out of the way. And it was, you know what, he did the spot on thing. He risked it for himself. He risked it, got out of the way, got on the dirt. These boys went flying past, but you know what, it added to the atmosphere, it added to the call, it added to the passion of the racing, and it was perfect by all three drivers, and it was just so great to watch.
I've got a question in the chat. Is the iRacing surface, like the real life surface around here, abrasive? I mean, I would say it really depends, because they would have scanned this track right before it would have closed down. So it's whether they actually had the technology at the time to get the surface as bang on as what they can with a lot of modern race surfaces on iRacing. So I think it comes down to, did they have the technology at the time when they did scan this track to implement the correct kind of track surface, we'll call it, Sinker. And if it is actually based on tyres, I have found that this track can be quite harsh on tyres, though. No matter what you're in, it can be quite harsh on tyres.
Have iRacing got it right yet, though? I mean, we know that like in when you watch F1s and across Europe and that, and they have all these tracks which are really hard on tyre deck and that. I'm not sure that iRacing really follows that as much. They sort of like leave a standard fill on there. I haven't seen it personally. I haven't felt it personally change apart from heat and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe these guys on track can correct me, but I don't think iRacing has got that quite down pat yet. And it's sort of like something they just push to the side. Like, no one's really going to thinking about it. And yeah, Rushy, I do remember it was you, mate. I remember the car going off, and it was a great way to get out of the way, mate. And you took it on the chin for the boys. Vortex evening, Longhurst evening as well, mate. Luckhurst, I should say. But yeah, mate, I'm getting excited. The times are looking good already. Rounds already hit a 103.372.
Yeah, so you put your glasses on, so you're on the 4.372.
Yeah.
If it was on a 3.3, I'd be Dylan. If Reham was on a 3 and I was a driver, I'd be leaving the session right now. If he's lapping that much quicker.
A little bit of chitter chatter going out there as well. People getting each other's way. So it should be, it should be a good one. And let's see how some of these teams operate together as well tonight. Might not be an idea I said it may be a good idea to get someone a bit of a drift down the main straight and try to get some good times for some of their teammates. Ty Delaney is sitting nice at the moment, the 104.797.
He's really started to find some pace the last couple of weeks, has the young guppy. Well, if you look at it, you mentioned teams. We've got teammates out there. Rehan's got Tim Mulford out there. I believe that's his only teammate in the session at the moment. Ty has David Coleman. The only other fishy car out there, ironically, actually. Dylan Gray does not have his teammate Jack Andrews. Anthony Visma has Mark Houghton, his teammate.
Yep.
The team... The
Pelicans are all out there.
Pelicans,
Ty's done a bit of a skip there.
There's about 4 Pelicans out there, so they're actually the most significant team presence tonight. Obviously, Blake Fitzpatrick, Harry Dodds, John Gallen, Peter Pavlovic, Bruce Tannick's the sole DPR driver, Connor Nixon's the sole drop bear driver, Andrew Cow and Troy Dooley out there for performance sim racing. So there's not that many solo runners per se here tonight who may normally have a teammate. But I don't know how much team play is really going to come down to it tonight, because I don't know if this track actually lends itself well to setting yourself up to help your teammate unless you've already had a poor run in the race before that.
Mainly just really gapping, creating a gap. That's the only thing you really can do. And also in the qualies, like really just trying to get a bit of a draft down the main straight. They're the only real 2 things you can do here. But you can get the elbows out and block for your teammate. By all means, it's not illegal as long as you do it within the rules. And it can be a hard place to pass. So yeah, look out.
Coleman goes P3 in the session, but he was absolutely dancing it on the way to the wall. His hair's gone left, right.
This track here, for those of you who have been around with us for a long, long time, might remember when we used to have practice nights, when we only had like the Porsche and the V8s, we'd have a practice night. And as this car's coming up here, he just took the camera off. There's a jump right there. And you can jump over that green wall and actually land on the track. I've had cars land on me, cars go over the top of me. There's a couple of really cool jumps in this track, and we used to just sniper each other on this thing. It was like crazy. Coming down across the bridge, coming across the driver's passenger side, there's a nice jump right into that area as well. So there's a lot of fun to be had on this track, off track.
Just a bit of a self-made rallycross circuit around here.
Oh yeah, we used to. I mean, we'd practice for a good hour or so, and then take it off. Did you notice the lift on the front end then by Mulford?
Yeah.
Going around there. Cowie had his car. Look at the grip he's got through there. That was sensational. That's a great setup. That was really nice and tucked in. He had power down really early.
Are we surprised, especially after how well the car looked at Sandown last week?
Yeah, I know that the setups the boys, the team, or the business does. I can't remember the name of it. Is it something H? I can't remember what they call it. Leonard's dad does it, Laz. Some awesome setups. Their cars are always just so. What are they doing here? So set on the track. But Cowie's car was doing the same thing. He had a really decent setup on Tuesday night, and his front wheels would just lift that little bit, but really compact and compressed tight, and you get the corners really nice. So I'm expecting Cowie to do really well tonight. He's not going to be the fastest, but he's going to be up there in the top 10.
Well, in saying that, there's only 6 other positions he could get outside the top 10 at this stage here tonight.
I'm talking on merit here, mate.
Yeah, no. I mean, he may even get himself a top 5. We don't know. This track can lend itself well to a little bit of chaos. Yeah. And it can, and you know, we mentioned it. It's tough to make passes around here. Some drivers, they may begin to get a little bit frustrated in trying to make the passes happen. That can then lead.
Corner's one where people get frustrated.
Oh,
and
exactly.
Yeah.
And you try and just send it up the inside, and all of a sudden you're straight line in the corner, and the car that's on your right hand side's coming with you, and you're holding the hands as you come through the paddock.
Goes under you and just goes straight out.
Yeah. You know?
So where you're coming here now, so this is the point where someone will just go straight past you.
Yeah.
You can see the skid marks right after the bridge here where everyone tries to dive in. So this is a spot where a lot of cars are trying to dive in. They've got to remember, they've got to get overlap, they've got to make it clean, they've got to be the first one into the corner to claim the corner. And then the other part is mainly down the back end, really. It's like after the S's, just before the straight, try to tuck it in there. A lot of people tried it here as well on coming in this section right here. See where the dark area is there?
Yeah.
Trying to dive it in across under there, so taking the pace up the hill and coming down the hill into there. So that was a crucial point. Another one just here, but this is a point which is really fast across the track, and you'd be crazy to try it. And the elevation change and the way the front end lifts across that point is ridiculous. And then right here, you've got to make sure, if you've got someone you're fighting, you've got to make sure you're hitting that apex really cleanly and early so that you can't get a nose up on the inside. And we saw a lot of passing on Tuesday night there where the boys had gone out wide, tried to get the car rotated around so they can get straighter earlier, but would leave that gap on the inside, and that gap would expose them, and then they'd get forced up against the fence, and then they'd lose the run down the straight.
You see Mulford then just run it straight ahead at turn 1. One thing I noticed on the inside of the track on the left-hand side was there was 2 separate lock-up marks coming into turn 1. One a little bit earlier, one a little bit later. That could then be signs of drivers diving up the inside, locking the brakes, having to let go of the brakes, and then getting back on them again to try and hang up the inside. Or it's just where they've all been parking their cars to tow back to pits. Not really 100% sure at this stage, but it could be both, could be either or. Have to see here. I mean, on board with Visma now. We'll actually get a good view of this down here. So if you look pretty much straight ahead, out the windshield, you can see here the black marks right there. Yep. And then there's another set right there as well. So that's where they've been kind of coming in, trying to dive up, locking the brakes up a bit, having to get off the brakes, and then back on the pressure again to try and hang the inside line on the left-hand side of that other car. So I don't know. It's going to be tough tonight. I think it's a little bit similar to Sandown. Obviously, it's a short, fast lap. But I feel like Sandown especially had a couple more passing opportunities than this one does. Yeah. So Oran Park, I think, will be more strategy-based tonight, if anything, than trying to make an overtake.
Yeah, especially with the drivers we've got on track tonight. There's not going to be as many errors. They're not going to be offline. It's a narrow track, so you can cover the centre line really well. Cowie did that really well on Tuesday night. He covered the centre line really well and just stopped the guys who were trying to get overlap on him. So he did that really well and drove away with it at one point. This point here, so I saw a guy trying to make a pass right there on the bridge crest on Tuesday night. I thought, what the hell? But it sort of half paid off, didn't quite finish. But tonight, mate, it's going to be a tough one to pick past Leonard. If he can get a good start, I think he's going to tear away with it. But the back markers are going to come into the play, which is going to be something pretty critical. Apart from that, you know, Dylan's looking a bit slower tonight than I expected him to go. I know that this is one of his, he said last week this is one of his favourite tracks. So we'll see how that comes out. Dave Coleman, pretty fast out here. So I don't know. I'm not too sure on where we're going to go tonight, mate. Oh, we have a car on the roof. That was Ty Delaney.
I just saw that on your screen.
The only other thing I think of that we've seen here in the past is the pit entry. Cars tuck into the pit entry, and the pit entry line is actually part of the racing line. Guys will drift into that pit entry line and use that as part of their run down the straight. And occasionally we have had, well, probably on 2 occasions in the historically for us, we've had guys pitting in there and getting rear-ended. So the boys here, if they are pitting, they need to be very vocal.
Yeah, it's similar to Sandown last week where the racing line is right on the pit entry. So it is going to be absolutely crucial for these drivers here tonight to be as vocal as possible about when they're coming into pit lane. You mentioned predictions. I don't know if I can look past Rehan here tonight. This track is incredibly easy to defend at. He's one of the best defenders in the game. And as you mentioned, unless he gets a poor start off the line, I don't know if I can see anyone coming past him with absolute ease. It'll be an absolute arm wrestle for them to do it. So we'll have to wait and see. But starting grid at 4 tonight's race. For race 1 of 2 here tonight for the sprint round, it will be Rehan Lienage starting on pole position for Phoenix Racing Team. Head of Fishy Motorsports, Ty Delaney in P2, who's been having an absolute revelation of a season thus far. Has already taken a race win this season. We'll see if he can get any more on the way home to the final checkered flag in a couple of weeks' time. Tim Mulford and Anthony Visman line up in behind them with Daniel Gray and David Coleman on the third row of the grid. Bruce Tannick, Blake Fitzpatrick in P7 and P8 on the road, respectively. John Gallen, Andrew Cowan. They make up the top 10 in behind them with Troy Stonestreet and Troy Dooley. Double Troy for the 6th row of the grid. We then have Harry Dodds, Mark Houghton, Peter Pavlovic and Connor Nixon making up the grid here tonight for us as, well, we get to go racing around Oran Park, a track that is no longer in existence anymore. We don't get to go racing around it anymore, but that's the beauty of sim racing. It's going to be the same with Pukekohe when it's on iRacing. You get to go around some graveyards of race circuits.
We are allowed to keep the legend alive. Simple as that.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Just like these Commodores, we're keeping the legend alive. Don't know why we bother, but yeah, we do. We're getting ready. The boys are a minute apart. My camera's sitting on Mr. John Gallen, so in 9th place, right on the cusp. Mr. Nixon, we're waiting for him to come in?
He went on track a couple times. Never set a time though, so we'll see if he races. Yeah.
Anyway, up for a big night. If there's someone out there you guys want to see, something you want to highlight in the race, let us know. We've got 30-odd people watching, plus what's on Facebook, so welcome all on board. Please like and subscribe and hit the little notification button and get yourselves on board of all the racing we're doing, because every night there's something special going on.
Sinkar, how do you feel about the fact that there's currently only 2 Mustangs on track and only 3 in the session?
Winners
compared to the 13 other Commodores out there.
Well, let's see where those 2 Mustangs finish tonight compared to the other Commodores.
Lights are going to go up now. Connor Nixon has not made the race start, ladies and gentlemen. Rehan Lienage, Ty Delaney, front row of the grid. Who's going to get the jump down towards turn 1? We are go here for Oran Park action for race number 1. Here at Oran Park for round 7. Greg Barber in the chat. Shout out to the safety car. Massive shout out to the safety car of Greg Barber. Lienage now into turn 1. He's done well to hold off Ty, but Ty is on him at the moment. Mulford trying to just skip his up the inside. There's contact with Coleman in the background and Pavlovic as well.
Looks like it might have been teammates there but 3 wide there. What a sandwich there. My God. These boys, 2 wide all the way through most of that part. Then Lienage has got himself a gap already on Ty Delaney of the 0.7. But and Mulford, so Ty Delaney is in a Phoenix sandwich as we see it. But the boys in the back of the pack have all leveled it out now.
Tannick's already up a handful of spots. Houghton, a magnificent start. He's up 5, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
As they come around to start lap number 2 here. Minute 10 seconds into the session here tonight. And Leonage looks to have this one locked out already as he starts to build this gap back to Ty Delaney. Already out to above a second now. And I guess this is one of the other big problems that we kind of had to worry about, Sinker, was once Ty loses the toe and then Mulford sticks to him like glue, Mulford's going to make it as hard as possible for Ty to actually break away and get back up onto the back of Rehan. So this may be that team play that we mentioned earlier come into full effect here, but Bruce Tannock may have something to say about it if he can get past him.
I was about to say, Bruce has actually changed that completely because Ty is gapping Mulford by 117 because he's got Bruce Tannock right on the back of him. He's got 3/10 to 4/10 drifting off and off. So Bruce is putting pressure on him already. And Bruce has been here week in, week out. Rushworth records rounds with both races by 7 to 10 seconds. Woo! Yep.
Not a bad prediction. I rate it.
Car 1, 2, 3. He needs to readdress back to car 52. So that's Mr. Tannock. Car 52 needs to catch up. He's a bit far behind at the moment. He's probably going to try to get him around these next few corners.
So what does it happen for him to need to reverse it? Let me find this.
I think it was in that when they went double wide. Yeah.
Let me find it. We'll have a bit of a view though. I can't even find it. It hasn't even come up as a completed pass or a.
It was more of a tuck into the wing. Tuck into the wing and pushed him a little bit wide.
So this was the moment down at turn 3. That was.
Is there any difference between the holes?
That was Dodds. Is there any difference?
Really.
There's no difference. There's no difference. They run the exact same. Sorry, I apologize. The only real difference is how much view you get out of the windscreen. That's literally the only difference between them. Nothing different setup wise. They are the exact same car.
One's a Mustang, the other one's a turd on wheels emoji.
One's a horse with a broken leg, and the other is a word for a lavatory. So.
As you can tell, that Hamish and I are both Ford fans.
I'm not a fan of a particular car myself, Sinker. I'm not a manufacturer fan myself. I'm a driver fan. I follow a driver wherever they go. Unless it's to a team that I dislike, then I won't. But aside from that, I am happy to watch a Mustang, Commodore, Falcon, Camaro, whatever it is. As long as the car looks good, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy as well, but I just like to put the story out there and take the piss a little bit.
Mate,
anyway,
the
Leonage is already up 1.9 on the front of Ty. Ty's gapped Tim Mulford 1.4. He's gapped Dylan Gray by 2.3. Bruce Tannock has readdressed that position, but he's got pressure on the back of Dylan already. So they're fighting across, and he's got Visma on the back of him and Coleman on the back of him. I'm going to... Mark Horton is... it's the boys crossing the line. I'm going to switch my camera down to Mark Horton. So we've got a bit of a battle pack in the back going on because these guys are gapped a bit. And with the fighting these guys are doing at the front, Andrew Cowan is slowly catching up to them. So it's going to bring the two packs together.
It will. I can see that Benici, Sean in the chat, says wing goofy on the Ford to me, as in for the Mustang. I agree. I don't like the wing on the old Mustang. The new wing's much better. The old wing, it is... The two side plates just look like dinner plates to me. It's just not a fun time. The new wing, exceptional.
We do have a new GT coming out next week, don't we?
We do, the McLaren, as well as the M4 GT4 car as well. So, Tannock, bit of a slide. Visma knocks straight into the side of him. Coleman somehow avoids. He's tried to catch it. He hasn't really held brakes, but
he didn't really get a chance to hold brakes. The other car actually rotated him around for him. But it has brought the field together again. Coleman is now sitting as the lead driver there, behind with Bruce Tannock behind him, Andrew Cowan, Mark Horton, Troy Dooley, Harry Dodds, These are all the rest of the field are all nice and close behind each other.
I see Coleman having to let Tanek go there. Cowie's now all over him with Houghton, as well as Dodds and Dooley and Fitzpatrick. Dodds and Fitzpatrick, the teammates swapping and changing positions. They got Troy Stone Street in behind them of WKMP Sim Sports. The sole WKMP driver in the field.
He is, a lot of pressure put on him.
He is getting swarmed by the Pelicans at the moment.
Yeah, someone must have dropped some seafood in the water, because that WKMP car is chum at the moment.
It really, really is. He feels like he's at a Lake Edge Holiday Unit's timeshare where people are just trying to hand him pamphlets at the moment. He's trying to defend them off. Cannot be willing to let them go past at this stage in time. This is the closest battle on track, though. I mean, this whole little pack of Tanek backwards are all still so tightly contested at this point. And that's coming down to the fact that their pace is actually super, super tight as well. They're not really giving up too much pace to each other throughout this whole pack. This was the moment with Tanek and Visma. Change that for quarter speed. So Tanek had a bit of a slide. Visma tried to tug up the inside, and oh my god, he nearly rolled it off the back of that. Just absolutely popping and locking it up.
Didn't like he actually picked up pace. It was like he got a little bit extra traction. It was like a boost.
Well, it was when it picked him up in the air. It launched him. You know, set him on a flight trajectory.
Yeah. It's like when you come around a corner and ice skating, you grab someone's arm and you fling them through. You know, it was that sort of trajectory. It looked like he put a whole heap of turbo down.
I just noticed as well, Connor Nixon had done nearly a full lap, but is now back in the pit lane. So maybe he's trying to figure out some issues with his rig and trying to get it sorted for race 2, possibly.
Yeah, young Rian's on the bottom screen at the moment. We'll give him some screen time because when you're out the front that far, you usually miss out. And he's gapping Ty Delaney by 3 seconds, but Ty's also gapping Mulford by about 3 seconds at the moment. Actually, Ty's just gone to 4 seconds on back at Leonage. And Mulford 3.
Andrew's prediction doesn't look so wrong now, just about halfway through the race. He said 7 to 10 seconds, and Rehan's already 4.5 seconds pretty much ahead of young Ty, so may not be too far away.
I've got a bit of a plan for next season for Sunday nights on getting... Oh, look at the way... I love the way those cars are going over that crest there. It's so bloody good. The way they just drop down and get the grip straight away on how to get the numbers back up a little bit for the Sunday night, because it goes... Season 4 is usually season 1 and 4 are the strongest for us usually, because it's Scott Sand, everything else sort of dies off a little bit. But I've got a few things up my little sleeves, which we'll talk about soon.
Oh, surely we got to pub test it right now, live on the broadcast. So
no, not quite yet.
We can find out what the crowd thinks.
We've got not quite yet. No, I've got to have my ducks in a row first. But all the Series 4 calendars are done. They will be going live tomorrow, and also the website. So everyone will be able to get their Season 4 subscriptions and their registrations coming through in the next day or so. And also the
they're not all done.
Massive Sandown 500, which we're going to have on the 7th and 8th of December. There is prize money to be won. We've had a benefactor donate the prize money for us, and that's going to be a spectacular 2-day event with a lot of racing to be done by other series as well. So we're going to have the GT3s out there, and I'm looking at having another one out there as well. So it's going to be a bit of fun, a few prizes to go out, so people can enjoy the weekend.
Well, you mentioned all the calendars are done. They're not all done, Singer, because I haven't done the Legends calendar yet.
No, that's the only
one.
We've
got to do that one and put that one out. But we've got some plans for that calendar. That's going to be a fun one for next season. But we can see the moment Mark Houghton under massive pressure right now from Harry Dodds. Cowie's just starting to build this gap a little bit now. I think we're getting into that awkward stage of this race, Sinker, where they start to kind of break away from each other. They start getting into their rhythms. Then it kind of gets a bit cookie cutter towards the finish line, where next race we're going to get to this point, and then we're going to get into pit stops, and that could then lead to maybe some safety cars happening or some change of strategy that actually then boosts a couple of drivers up the field and then forces the battles to occur.
Well, we saw what happened in the safety car last weekend on Sunday night. Those last 5 laps were absolutely epic between Leonage and Nixon. Nixon really rose to the occasion for that. It was great watching and great viewing.
So at the moment, Mark Houghton, he's been running quite consistently as of late. A podium, I believe on Sunday. I believe he had the podium on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
He had 3rd place. So no, it was Dylan Gray who had it on Sunday. Sorry. When did Mark have it? He had it recently. I remember Mark had a podium recently. He's running very, very consistent. Cowie, of course, got the win on Tuesday night in absolutely spectacular fashion as well. Again, all the lap times, they're coming down a little bit now, getting a little bit slower as they get more and more into the rhythm. They're managing these tyres. I hate to think how much these tyres have actually worn down at this point around here, because it is somewhat of a tyre killer. And when you're pushing this hard, you got a Tuesday. Thank you, Mick. You had it on Tuesday. I knew it was recent. Yeah, I mean,
the gap from Cowan onwards is tight. It hasn't gapped out at all.
No,
it's just the front guys have gapped out, yeah. From Bruce Tannock backwards, it's from 6th place onwards. The boys are all 6 10ths, 7 10ths, 8 10ths. They're all fairly close. They're still fighting like crazy. We've got a reverse top 10 as well, so don't forget that means Harry Dodds will be starting in the front row with Mark Horton. 2nd row will be Coleman and Cowan. 3rd row will be Tannock and Vismar. 4th row, Mulford and Gray. 5th row, Delaney and Leonage.
I wonder how that's going to work out, because Leonage and Delaney, they would have, a Fitzpatrick start behind them, a Stone Street, who have got some pace about them on their day. They can also be a very aggressive driver, can both Fitzpatrick and Stone Street. Do they kind of hook in, sink their teeth into it and try and get the moves done early on them?
Their starts are going to be good. Their starts are good. This is the thing, because they're top end drivers. Yeah, their starts are spot on. So they'll get that. If anything, they'll get up to the guys behind them by the first corner, and they're going to have to. It's going to condense. They're going to have to try to get through there clean. Oh, look at that bit of skid coming through. That was very, very close. Again, very hard to pass.
It is incredibly hard to pass here. We can see up in behind Ty Delaney. The gap is 7.4 seconds now up to Rehan Leonage. Dylan Gray not too far behind him, 2.5 seconds. Tim Mulford in behind him as well for P4. Then Visma makes up the top 5 coming through this section. Then all the way, a little bit further back, Bruce Tannock on board with him now as he makes his way round the real roller coaster portion of the outer edge of this circuit in towards the 3rd sector. You mentioned the curb hopping in this sector here, Sinker.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's almost, you've got to try and almost straight line that fast chicane as much as possible.
You aim for the far tree, and that's your race line. That's what you hit your target for. I was listening to one of the drivers on Tuesday night talk about it, and they just aim for that tree and they go for it. But you just imagine that lifting, instead of front wheels, you can just imagine your stomach would actually go up and down, wouldn't it? It would just be that. It would just be that whoop, because you can see the front 2 wheels, just the way they tuck up, and then car 9 got a black and white warning flag for moving under brakes, I think it was.
That's Mark Houghton. Did they be referring to? The further back, Troy Dooley. You talk about stomach going up and down. Oh my God!
Inside. Tell you what, who was in front of Troy? That's Blake.
That's
he nearly hit the
Blake
rear end of his teammate then.
Troy battling it out at the moment. So the reason I'm looking at Blake is I wanted to have a look at a certain camera, which I believe is this one here. This will be like your stomach coming up to the top of the hill, on the suspension cam, of course. I mean, look at that suspension travel up the hill. That is ridiculous how much load gets put on these rear wheels of these cars. I'm glad we have actually got a Mustang out there, otherwise we wouldn't have this camera. But it is incredible.
Have you gone the jump yet? Oh, not the jump, the rise? Yeah, he's already done it.
Yeah, he's already done it. But yeah, I mean, just the amount of suspension travel you can get around here. Actually, we probably should have done it at Sandown when they were hopping the curves. That would have been awesome to see.
There was a lot of curb hopping in Sandown. I watched some of that today. Father's Day. It was one of my things, and I watched it, and the curve hopping was crazy. The amount of guys going around. Oh, some rotation going around. Was that on his own?
No, that was with Gallen. That looked like he had massive contact. Let's have a look here.
Too wide on the bottom screen, going over the bridge, tucked in nicely.
So Gallen actually, he served him from the rear. Gallen has actually redressed the position, though. He has actually redressed the position, so he did take blame for that. Although at least he attempted to. He's kept going. So.
Well, at the end of the day, it's like I say, if you had a nose-to-tail contact, don't worry about readdressing it. It's like, just go for it. If you're going to get a penalty, you're going to get a penalty. It's one of those things. It's racing. It happens, you know. I tell my boys, unless it's like there's a massive gap and no one's around, yeah, readdress it. But if there's a lot of cars going around, don't try to readdress it, because odds on, if it's a compact field, they're going to lose 2 or 3 spots, and it's pointless. You're going to get a penalty anyway, so you may as well keep going.
Well, one thing that I do often is, because all my drivers normally race together on the same day, and I'm in there with them while they race. Whenever they have an incident like that, because I know they are the type of driver who will pull over and wait for someone, even if 20 cars are going to come past the other person, I just say to them, do not stop, just keep going. If you get a penalty, you get a penalty. There's no point in waiting for them. You can apologise to them. You can apologise to them after the race for hitting them. There's no point self-penalising, because you're not if you've turned them and they've dropped that many spots, you get the penalty anyway if they deem it your fault.
Correct.
And if it's not your fault, you self-penalised for no reason.
Yeah, correct. 2 minutes left, mate. 2 minutes.
We are on white flag lap as Leonage comes up and across the bridge to start his continue his final lap, I should say, and his run towards the checkered flag. The gap is currently 8.7 seconds, so Andrew Rushworth has predicted this to absolute perfection at this point.
Well done, Rushworth.
He's right in between the time span that he mentioned, but up towards the final corner now comes Rehan Leonage. In dominant fashion, he was never really challenged here in race number 1. Up towards the line, Rehan Leonage takes another win this season and a solid chunk of points in the championship battles. Championship leader Ty Delaney is going across the line in P2, getting himself another solid chunk of points as well, with Dylan Gray in P3 on the road. Tim Mulford comes across P4, Anthony Visma in P5. Bruce Tannick's going to come around the final corner. He'll make up the top 6. They've got Coleman and Cowie. They're still racing up towards the line. And then Houghton and Fitzpatrick makes up the top 10. Those will be the 10 drivers who will get reversed for the grid of race number 2. Doddsholm at P11, Stone Street, Pavlovic, Dooley and Gallen. At the back end of the field, I believe Gallen may have copped himself a penalty maybe. He's been in there for quite a while off the back of the contact with Troy Dooley.
Oh, maybe he has some damage as well.
Quite possibly. But I mean, you only had a couple minutes left. You might as well try and get to the end if you don't have if you don't have an issue. But who knows? Well, we got a nice little 5 minutes now, Sinker.
Yeah. And 30 people watching. Welcome, everyone, on Sunday night. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there.
Fantastic to be spending Father's Day with you once again.
Isn't it awesome?
It
is fantastic. Great. I've been a father now for 4 years. So my young fella today come up to me and was like, I don't know, the older I get, the more emotional I get. He goes, "You're the best daddy in the world." And I'm like, "Oh, dude.
Treasure that, Sinker. Treasure that.
You know.
I was going to say treasure that, because I reckon in 12, 15 years' time, he might not be saying that for a little bit.
He's going to be playing pranks on me. I'm going to be one of that dad that gets pranked all the time on YouTube. I can just see it, mate. He's going to be a little turd, you know. So I'm going to get it all as much as possible. I'm going to do the poo joke on him soon. You know, the Vegemite on the finger, get him to get me a toilet roll, and then go, "Thanks, dude," and put the Vegemite on his hand as he gives it to me.
Nah, you got to do it with Nutella, Sinker, because then you can actually lick your finger after the fact and really gross him out, and you won't gag necessarily, because too much Vegemite is gag worthy.
I don't know, mate. I don't think we've got any Nutella in our house. We're not Nutella eaters. Vegemite does make the shells because the missus eats it, but I can't wait to do something like that to him and video him.
Melted chocolate also works well.
Yes, it does. It does. Anyway, what a race. Leonardo taking the boys to school. Ty Delaney did well to keep up as much as he could. He did a 3 to 4 second gap on Mulford. So those two boys got some very good pace on them. It's going to be interesting with the reverse top grid, mate. These fast boys trying to get through clean. The thing is, both Leonardo and Delaney are very, very clean drivers and won't take the risk for the biscuit unless it's 100% on. We've seen them both pull out of situations where they could have put their nose in there somewhere and taken a bit of a risk. They'd rather do it cleanly. So it's going to take them a little bit longer, and they're going to have to be a little bit patient. But I think in the first 2 laps, with all the 2x2s we saw in the last lap, it's going to be tight.
How do you think strategy is going to work tonight, Sink? What was it like on Tuesday? What was the strategy for a lot of drivers out there? Do you remember?
You know, my life's been a bit hectic in the last few weeks, so no, I can't remember completely. Even though I did watch Sandown this weekend, I should have watched Tuesday night's race to remember it all. There was a pit strategy. It was a couple of the boys went early, and it got them up the pointy end because of the passing. It's a bit harder. I think tonight an undercut would be good. Purely not the pace undercut, but purely getting out in front of the guys you're racing so that you can't get
I think the clean
overtaken.
Air, the clean air is going to be important.
Yeah. We saw who was it? I can't remember right now. I'm starting to get the 86 race mixed up with the other one, but it's going to be tight. I think the undercut's going to be pretty powerful just to get in behind people, get the clean air, and get the elbows out so someone can't pass you. Up the front, these boys, the two fast young fellas, they're just going to work their way through.
Well, I would say I can remember what happened on Tuesday, but
go hard or go home. Yeah, well, some people will go like that, so they've got to be real careful that they don't end up in the dungeon with the RC boys. But you know, there's a lot of drivers out there, a lot of mistakes to be made. You've got to be patient. Wow, the room's risen to 35, so welcome all on board. Happy Father's Day again. Please like, subscribe, tick the notification button. We're getting to that part of the year where some awesome things are going to be happening soon. What's your prediction, mate? Any safety cars?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think we necessarily have a big enough field of drivers who are willing just to say, let's put my race on skib and just full send ourselves throughout the whole race. I don't think there's enough drivers in this field who will do that. There are some drivers who will do that, but not enough here tonight. And I think what it's realistically going to come down to, it's a tough track to pass. It's going to depend on the mentality of some of these drivers. You look at a Bruce Tanek, he's gotten frustrated in the past mid-race, but that's normally off the back of getting some penalties or being involved in some incidents. I don't know if there's as many opportunities tonight for that to happen to him in this race, per se. So I don't think we will. I don't think we'll have a safety car, which is a little bit of a shame because it would
have it. It'll be in the first 2 laps.
Yeah, I think if we are going to have it, it'll be either first 2 laps or it'll be like last 10 minutes where someone's blown their engine on the straight. I think that'll be the only. That'll be the only way it can happen.
For a while.
That's
the
true.
boys are gritting up. I'm gonna go put my camera on Ty and Ryan, and so we can see the action coming through the field. Laz
has just said it exactly right.
You have to take some risks.
Exactly, you got to risk it for the biscuit. You know.
Yeah.
You
I think the last corner in the first few laps is going to be critical. Trying to get the nose under and into the overlap to get down the back end of the straight side by side. We saw a lot of good passing like that on Tuesday night there. Car 359 pit lane start.
That is going to, I think I meant to write 350. That's John Gallen. 359 in the. Oh, Microphone is having an absolute
he had. Okay,
yeah, that'll be for that. Starting grid, though, for this race here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, will be as follows. Blake Fitzpatrick will start pole position ahead of Mark Houghton in P2. Andrew Cowan and David Coleman then line up on the second row of the grid. Bruce Tannock, Anthony Visma on the third, with Tim Mulford and Dylan Gray making up the top 8 cars on the road. Then the rest of the reverse top 10 goes to Tidal Annie and Rehan Leonage. In behind them, how they finished in last race, it'll be Harry Dodds, Troy Stone Street, back to Peter Pavlovic, Troy Dooley and John Gallen at the back end of the field. Whether Connor Nixon joins the grid or not, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see an opportunity for safety cars in this race, Sinker. I don't have the feeling like, it doesn't feel like after last race that we're going to be in for safety car city. It feels like it's going to be more of the same. And I think that's just the vibe I'm getting off tonight's event. It's going to be a little bit more of the same, a little bit cookie cutter. Who knows? Maybe it'll happen where some of the guys from the top end of the top 10 from last race try and make their way through the field. They take those risks, and the risks don't pay off.
Look, you're looking at Bruce Tannock, Dave Coleman, Anthony Visma. They need to get a really good start to gap Ty Delaney and Leonage. So it could be somewhere across there it happens. We'll see. Fingers crossed it doesn't, but we're going to get a sick race all the way through. 30 seconds, we're ready to rock. But you know what? Either way, it's going to be a hair-raising goosebump moment like they are right now. I still get them.
Well, we have been on for a absolutely gorgeous night of racing thus far here at Oran Park. Beautiful conditions in the graveyard of New South Wales racing here in the eastern suburbs of Sydney. But this is going to be one hell of a ride for us along through the figure eight that is this beautiful part of the world. So lights go up. Let's go racing for race 2. Fitzpatrick and Houghton on the front row of the grid. We are away for race number 2, and Coleman has absolutely bottled the start as he's bogged it right down, and Houghton has rocketed into the front end of the field here.
Cowie coming in there.
Ooh, Cowie, be careful.
Nice work, nice work.
That was a great job there by Houghton. Cowie's now already attacking for P2 on the road. Fitzpatrick's alongside him. We've made it through turn 4 nice and tidily. We're through 5 and 6 now over the top of the bridge. You can see Tannock is attacking already.
On the bridge.
Oh my God, they nearly did it again, but earlier in the lap.
I was like, what are you doing on the bridge, son? You can't,
Tannock,
but he held it.
It nearly happened again. Tannock had the slide. Visma had the PTSD from last time. He's gone, oh no, and just tried to go avoidance mode on him. Rehan's already up 4 spots. He's into P6, putting maximum pressure on Tannock.
That was Code Brown all the way.
Oh my God, it was. Absolute heart in your mouth stuff off the back of that.
Straight down too wide again. Who's that?
Cowie and Visma. Visma's on his inside into turn 1. Oh my God.
Cowie. Watch the crossover.
Banging a bit of doors.
Well done, boys. Well done. Love the racing. Love it nice and tight like that. And they've made it through. We have got, Jesus Christ, we've nearly come up to the second lap finish, and we've come clean. Mark Horton with his fastest lap was 1:11.556. We're still way off the lap pace we had last long. But everything on the board is still orange and yellow.
They are not giving anything up between them at the moment. I mean, you can see here, Tannock, Leonage right in behind Cowie. And it's a maximum pressure moment once again.
Doing a great job. The you can see them in the bottom screen. Ty is sitting 2 places there behind. Dylan Gray in front of him. I tell you what, they used. A few boys are really loving that wall as they come out of the last corner.
It's having a cheeky little cuddle with it. That's what they're doing.
Tell you what, you don't want to hit it too hard too many times. That front end will just go pop.
Tannock is all over Cowie right now. But he has to be, because he's got Rehan all over him as he's trying to tuck it up the inside. Not quite close enough. Here comes Leonage.
He's still green.
Oh, oh, oh. Oh, banging a bit of doors. Oh, oh, oh. 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 Oh, oh, oh Trying to send it up the inside of Tanik. Oh, a little bit of contact with him, forces him wide, but they keep on rocking and rolling. They've got Gray Delaney in behind them. Oh, my God. And I think you're right, Sing. If we're ever going to have a safety car, it's going to be during this period of these guys trying to make their way through the field up towards the front end of town.
Yeah. Blake Fitzpatrick has already got 1 second on Visma at the moment. He is on fire up front. He's having a great little ding-dong on his own. I'm going to switch my camera to the front there while he is out the front, because when these boys catch him, it's going to be fire. But let him enjoy some camera work while he can.
Well, down towards the start-finish line, they rocket on through now. Leonage is all over the back of Andrew Cowan as he tries to tuck it up the inside. Cowie has to let him out. He knows he's got the pace over him, and now Tanik is lurking as well.
Oh, that's it. Just a little bit of touch saying, Cowie, just putting my arm on your shoulder as I come through, mate. And here I come. As Leonard just said, rubbing it at tin tops. Definitely a little bit of rubbins loving it. Look at that. That was a great little camera angle there. Fantastic coming over that crest through the bridge.
Thanks, man. Made that one myself. But you can see though. I mean, like Cowie right now, he's dropped like a fly a little bit to Leonage and Tanik, but he's got Graham behind him. We know these two have had comings together in the past, but Cowie can defend for his life when he wants to. It's going to be, though, and you look at that, it's like, well, Tanik and Leonage, they both took some risks. Did they pay off? They did, but they were calculated risks. They didn't just send it at every single corner. They waited. They put the pressure on Cowie. They set it up for themselves. And then for Cowie, it just came crashing down like a house of cards where they set him up, they made the joints all weak, and then it was just a little flick, and they're past him, and he's knocked down a couple of spots. But Gray right now is all over him at the moment.
Ty's over him as well. And up the top end of the pointy end of the stick, Blake Fitzpatrick's got Visma breathing down his neck too now. So Visma's at 5/10, slowly catching. In the last lap, he had 3/10 on him. So great little bit of movement there by Visma. Look at the top screen there. Dylan Gray over the back of Cowie. He's got his lips on him like a bomb. Oh, Cowie, look at that. Nearly tail wagged his way out of that race.
I was not ready for that reference. I was not aware we could take it that far, Sinker.
Sometimes it happens, mate. But that was a great bit of racing there. Dylan's got a bit of front end damage there as well. His bonnet's hanging up a little bit. He's got the nose in. Is he going to be able to break it into braking? No, Cowie has maintained the overlap.
Oh, a little bit of a lock-up, slight little contact. They keep it going, though.
Straightened him up.
Yeah, he has. Oh, my God. Delaney's doing that. The problem now is that Gray may get a penalty and may have to try and redress the position.
I think he's trying to readdress it.
Yeah, because there was a little bit of a bump and run.
He's trying to readdress it. I'm loving this.
Oh, it's causing absolute chaos across the bridge.
He's readdressed it, hasn't he?
Yeah, which I think is fair because that's a proper redress. They kept going. They kept going.
It's like the way the whole field was folding behind. Excuse me, boys. We've got to readdress me here. We've got to take care of this. On your left, this time right. I'm coming through.
Based off your last reference, Sinker, that's like when you skip someone in the rotation. You're like, oh no, wait, it was their turn. Here, let me just skip you and pass it back to them. Oh my God.
Oh God. This is some great stuff out there. Leonage has got a 104.961 in traffic. That is spectacular lap time.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Harry Dodds had a moment.
Now in 3/10.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. That was Doddsy off the track at the top of the hill.
Oh, Doddsy.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, what you doing, Dodds? What you doing?
What are you
doing,
Harry?
The wrong way as well. That was so close. Oh, here we go. Dylan. I can see why Dylan's front end's a bit damaged.
Yeah, he's kissing.
He's brushing him.
I know he's kissing Cowie's ass more than an office worker at the moment. He's not giving him up.
That is unbelievable. He's not getting a pay rise, mate. There's no pay rises this season. Really pushing hard there. And again. Oh. That is good. Oh,
He's trying to put the
was that
pressure
a
on him.
helping hand then?
No. He's just putting pressure on him. Dylan
Put
comes on
pressure
past.
him.
Yeah.
Ty's ready to take advantage of it.
It was a great pressure play.
Ty's got him more than half a car left. He's going to be able to hold it all the way through. Yes. Here comes, is that Mulford?
That's Mulford.
Yep, he's going to sniff as well now. No overlaps yet.
I'll
Is
tell
he
you
going
what,
to tuck in under?
No matter how upsetting in the past Dylan Gray's runs through traffic have been, you have to commend him. That amount of to put that amount of pressure on Cowie and not cause an accident with him, right? To constantly be right on his tail and be able to sit there comfortably, putting pressure on him and force a mistake. Hats have to go off to him. That was a phenomenal bit of racing by him.
I would have had that many taps from behind like that. I would have just put the brakes on.
You probably also would have ended up in the wall, but
yeah, maybe. Nice little bit of work there. Who's
Mulford.
Cowie Mulford.
Yeah, and Coleman's there
Oh,
too. Bit of contact.
That's Coleman giving him too much love.
And Stone Street's now been spun round as well. Oh my God!
Hang on. No, hang on. Where is
Oh, wait a minute.
where
Is that Coleman parked across the track?
He must have lost it as well.
He did. Can he get it going? He can.
Has he got damage or something?
He does. Yeah. So Mulford, as they just cut. Oh, there's a net code between them. Oh my God.
Oh, and he got tail-ended.
Oh my God, that's
by
a massive
Stone Street.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah,
Stone
he
Street, I
got
know.
wiped out by Stone Street.
Stone Street, I know where to go. He's just following through the corner and.
He just landed. Was that net code? Was it?
Yeah, I think that was net code with Mulford and Coleman, and then
What?
it's just absolutely blown up.
Coleman needs a trophy just for the most unluckiest driver in SRW history, mate.
I know.
Oh, this poor guy. I
ridiculous.
feel for him. He just seems to cop it every week, and he keeps going back, mate. I love him. He keeps coming back.
So yeah, that was the net code, and then further contact after the incident occurred. But he's going once again, and he's back in pit lane. Here we go though, front end of town. Fitzpatrick, Visma, and Leonage in the battle for the top three at the moment. It is on. It is on like nobody's business. We've got half an hour to go in this race. Leonage has already caught Visma and Fitzpatrick. You have to think, though, if Leonage can't get past Visma here, Visma's going to make it hard for him. So if Visma gets this lead, Leonage follows on through, Visma's not going to make it easy for Rehan. He really isn't. He's got the pace to match him, but he's also got the ability. So this may be the only challenger, maybe the most overlooked challenger on the field, who could actually challenge Rehan here for this win in this race if they can both get past Blake Fitzpatrick.
Oh, it's not going to be easy to pass, mate. Not at all.
He won't.
Blake's got some really good defensive skills, mate. I've seen him do it in the past, and he's not an easy character in the past at all, mate. He's got the pace at the moment. He's sitting on 105 too, so he's right where he needs to be as far as pace concerned. And we're only at the 11-minute mark too, so it's Visma's having a sneaky look.
Not quite close enough in the run through turn two,
no.
though. Oh, but Leonage is right there. And I guess that comes back down to taking those risks, taking any opportunities you can. One of the things I saw Friday night, Leonage Rehan, he raced in the Pro Invitational Sandown 500. And I was seeing how he was doing, but I was also checking out the rest of the field. Literally everyone, if you leave anything open, if you leave anything open, Sinker, for those fast guys, they'll pick it up. They will not let you have it. Like Visma there, leaving that little gap open, Rehan just snuck it through, took the risk, but the door was open, so he's like, I'm taking it. Because you got to take your risks when you can around here. They do have to be a bit pre-planned, a bit set up, but it's such a tough track to pass. I feel like you've just got to go for it at some point.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened down the back there, but Dooley was facing the wrong way at one point, and I think John Gallen as well.
Sure, that'll be this incident
Gallen
right
is
here.
way off now at the back there.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh, Zach Gallen's got second-hand car flying across the front of him. It looks like one's trying to go in a pit and one hasn't.
So what's happened? Oh, so Dooley had a bit of a wiggle. Tried to catch it, put it straight in the wall. That then bounced him back off and into the line of fire of John Gallen.
Oh,
So that's
Gallen,
what
another
happened
one.
there. Yeah.
Sunday nights are not his nights, mate. He's so unlucky on Sunday nights.
I think, he doesn't push to try and be as clean, or not as clean, but he doesn't drive it as if he's trying. Yeah, that's David Coleman, incident responsibility. So they probably determined, even with the net code, that the contact would have happened regardless with Tim Mulford.
Yep. Alrighty. Yeah, Gallen's a bit unlucky. It's not his big night of the week. He comes out for a bit of fun on a Sunday night. He just uses it as training. But it still sucks when you get stuck into something like that happens to you. But that was unfortunate for Troy. He that rear end, when it hit the wall, it just launched him.
So I've just noticed as well, these guys have already now caught up to Mulford, who's been through the lane. And I guess the problem we now face is, Cinco, without a safety car, and if we get into any more of these little bingles that happen where cars don't need the tow, we're going to get more and more cars off the lead lap. And then that's going to leave us with less cars in contention for the win.
Mulford then trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, he moves straight out of the way.
A bit of time.
Yeah. So I think, because Mulford has the pace, he could have afforded just to tow these guys around up towards the last corner and then either move over before the corner at turn 1, or just hang it on the outside and say, come down the left-hand side, guys, I'll lift off early, you can get me under brakes. Because they could easily get him under brakes at turn 1. It's not that difficult, especially if he's going to hand it to them.
Well, as you can see, he's got some, Fitzpatrick's got some great pace tonight.
He does. It's good to see Blake back out there. It really is. I know he's
hitting 5.64s, so he's right on that pace all the time. So he's doing really well, which has given Visma and Leonard a bit of work to do. Bruce is slightly starting to catch these boys too now with the fighting that they're going on.
I think there's probably a little bit of fuel saving happening here, saving those tyres as well. I mean, the other thing in the room is obviously with Blake. He had a couple of out-of-character weeks, of course. Really wasn't driving like himself. It's good to see him back in the field and still having a crack. Yeah. Hopefully he's now on the up and back to what he does best, and that's give us some awesome racing on Sunday nights. Because we want to see him perform, we want to see him do well. He's one of our favourites in the field, Sinker, because of that reason, because he can give us such good racing. And as a neutral who's not a part of PER, he is absolutely phenomenal to watch. Same for Rehan and same for Visma as well. That's Visma in. I was just
about to say, if I was one of these two guys at the front, I'd be pitting right now. Trying to get an undercut going and get some clean air.
Yep, great strap by Visma. Because now he is likely going to come out in the clean air. If we know Mulford's right here, where's Dooley? Dooley, he's just come past pit exit. There's Gallen. Where's Coleman? Visma's going to come out well in clean air. He's going to come out behind Stone Street or Pavlovic. He's going to have heaps of clean air. This is going to help him wonderfully right now.
Yeah, 100%. I think that was a strategy I was thinking of. So it's good to see. Here he comes out. He's coming out in the bottom screen. He's coming around the first corner. These guys have got the straight on him. So he's done well, actually. Let's see how that translates later on and see if any of these boys are going to go in.
It's probably a good point in the race to do it as well.
Oh, rear end's dancing.
Oh, my God.
A lot of dancing.
They're in.
He's going in. He's going in.
And Leonage, Tannock and Mulford all stay out.
Yep. I'm going to put I'll leave my camera on.
Leave it on Visma, and we'll check back in with Blake. We'll check back in with Blake once it says that he's coming out of pit lane. Just see where he ends up.
Yeah, because Visma was behind Blake by only a couple of tenths. Let's see what has done. The
problem now is, right, because Blake's tried to cover him and Rehan hasn't. He is. So's Houghton. What's going to hurt now is the fact, because Fitzpatrick's tried to cover and Rehan hasn't, he's going to come out around at the same time as Visma. They're then going to start battling. Rehan's going to be able to run away because now he has the advantage of the undercut.
Look at this.
So Visma's got him. He's got him well in hand.
Yeah. Well, he did well, actually. 1.2 seconds. Done real well. That was a strong
In fact,
undercut.
the lane travel was only, the pit stop time was only 0.3 of a second faster
Tanek's
for
in.
Visma as Tanek is in. Rehan stays out. Oh, it's interesting times ahead, Sinker. Very interesting times as these strategies come into play.
Look across the Tanek so we can see how he comes out of the pits. He's just getting down the track as we speak. We've got the boys coming around the back end at the moment.
Let's have a quick look here. Where is Visma? Here he is. Final corner time. So he should get past him because he came in before Tanek did. And I wouldn't be surprised if they've actually now gapped Tanek by coming in that lap or two before him. So they come down past the pit exit. Yeah, Tanek's still in. So these guys are going to... Oh, no. This is a long stop for Tanek.
It is.
I reckon he's
copped a bit of damage.
No, you know what I reckon's happened? He's copped a speeding in pit lane. He's got to stop hold.
Oh, you reckon?
If this is 50-odd seconds, he's had a stop hold. There's no way he'd take optionals.
That's got to hurt.
No way he'd take optionals.
That's got to hurt. Yeah, I don't think I see the car go up on its brakes yet.
If he's out there, so if he...
Here we go. 49.
Yep.
50.
So if he exits in the next couple of seconds, he's for sure got a stop hold. Yeah, IRacing black flag, pit lane speeding. There we go, confirmed by race control.
Yep.
So it's caught him out. But that's the nature of this pit entry, isn't it? It's so tough. You're trying to push your absolute limits. My point of view is, as a driver, Sinker, you might be in the same boat as me. Maybe that's why I'm not a top tier driver like Rehan or anything like that. I would rather take the extra millisecond to slow myself down before the pit entry than risk losing 40 seconds in a pit stop.
I do the same. I've done it too many times, and I just slam the anchors way before it. I just because I know I'm not that good. As simple as that.
It's not even not knowing if I'm good enough. It's I don't want to risk losing 40 seconds. I don't want to hang my head on 40 seconds. I'd rather lose the millisecond and try and make it up. I don't. Okay, so Barb's in the chat saying hit 50 kph. Okay, missed his limiter and sped up again. Oh no. Oh, you hate to see it. Absolutely hate to see it. So, yeah, he's done the correct thing, but he missed the button for his limiter. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. And he's still in there. Is he giving up?
No, I'd say I think so. Yeah. That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for Bruce. He had some great pace.
So Ty Delaney, who started the race behind Rehan.
Alongside Rehan. He started P9, Rehan was P10.
Yep, he's coming out of the pits now. And he is coming back. He's got... Where's he coming out on?
He's got Houghton about 5 seconds off the back.
Yeah, he's got about Houghton behind Fitzpatrick. So it's not too bad. That would have been third on the hand. That's provisional third. Yeah. But depending on how far Rehan is going, Rehan is lapping.
That would still be at least provisional fourth, because Rehan was in that top 3 battle already. So
correct. And his times have dropped down.
He would be provisional
low 105s now.
At the moment, Rehan's provisional P1, just based on the fact he's been able to go longer, run those clean air fast laps. He's got lap traffic ahead of him, so if Cowie's nice, he'll let him go before this next sector. If he's deciding you're not close enough, I don't want to let you pass just yet, then he'll have to wait until the main straight, most likely. But you know, Cowie has that right. He has that right to not risk his own race too much. Exactly right.
It's racing. It was like on Tuesday night, we had some fast guys in the back end of the park, and the slow boys were like, "No, man, I'm not letting you pass. Just because you're faster than me, I'm going to make it hard for you."
Know, and even though racing, this is a blue flag scenario, but again, this track more so than any other we've been to thus far this season. More so, you actually have to think about, I mentioned it before, the real life blue flag rules more so than maybe what the interpretation of a blue flag rule is. He doesn't have to get out of your way. If you go for the move, he can't defend it. That's what the definition of the blue flag is.
Well, you're not. Blue flag is not get out of my way. Blue flag is
make it easy. Yeah, make it easy for me.
Next safest opportunity, and then it's on the driver that's passing the blue flag to make that
Exactly.
opportunity safe.
Exactly
And to pick
right.
the right opportunity.
Exactly right. You know, and you get
Yeah,
drivers
it's a rule that
going.
we've cleaned up a lot. I know in the early days of SRW, I used to get pummeled for it and like take it out and stuff like that because people were just not impatient. But I found the mentality has changed over the years.
I think because they've
To the
come to
better.
more of an understanding of what it is. See, he's let him go in the final corner. Perfectly
And that's
acceptable
where you
spot
want
to
to
do
do
it.
it, so you get a toe down the rest of the corner.
Exactly. And if you're
Oh,
not,
he's going in.
he's going in. and if they're not
All right,
close
I've got
enough
the
to do it,
camera going in.
if they're not close enough at the final corner to do it, then
Yeah.
you just simply you say, hey, on the left, turn one, lift off slightly. You let them go up left hand side. Easy does it.
Yeah.
You're not losing too
Visma has
much
gapped.
pace.
Sorry to interrupt you, mate.
No, you're right.
Visma has gapped Fitzpatrick. He's got
yeah.
1.8. Now Rian's in the pits. Dodge has followed him as well. No, he hasn't followed him.
He
Yes,
has. He has followed him.
Yep, he
Yeah.
has followed him in. And let's see where Visma comes out on.
Stone Street's also in. So provisional
Here comes
P2
Leonard. He's
Visma.
off the racks. He's on
Yeah,
his
he's
way
got
out.
him. He's got him P1 for Rehan now.
Here comes down the back.
They're going to be close, but Rehan's got him. So
Yeah, Rehan's got him by about.
the biggest problem there for
There it is.
Visma, and if I was in Visma's shoes and I knew what happened with
What
Blake,
happened then? John Gallo just went straight. He must have missed his brake marker to avoid. Looks like to avoid Leon. He's gone straight into the wall.
and he's jumped back to pit, so he's either found the door to the Shadow Realm or he's done a naughty and clicked the tow button.
Yeah, I don't know, one or another. Look, I'm pretty sure it looked like to me like he missed his brake marker, and instead of hitting Leonage, he's taken the dirt.
Oh yeah, he's deliberately avoided him.
Yeah, he's deliberately avoided him. Done the honourable thing, and it looks like he's destroyed his car.
That may get called in though, you know.
Oh, maybe, yeah. It might be a nose
Because
cut or something like
yeah,
that.
Rehan's
Don't know.
come straight into his racing line out of the pit lane, so I don't know. That's very interesting how that's worked out. But if you're in Visma's shoes right now,
yep,
and you know that Blake coming in to cover your pit stop has actually cost you the lead of the race, would you be upset at this stage, or would you be like, right, I'm P2, I've got the pace with Rehan to catch him or stay with him. Do I just push on now and worry about and get a bit sooky about it later?
Who are you talking about, Blake?
For Anthony. So Visma came in for the undercut. The what's cost Visma arguably the lead of this race now is the fact that Blake covered him the lap after and Rehan kept going. So what that did was it released Rehan into clean air. He didn't have to battle Blake.
It is what it is, mate. It's if I was Visma, I would be trying to get as close as possible to Rehan, if anything, to learn his race line and learn a
just
bit
kick
of
on.
pace.
Just
See,
kick on.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. I think the strategies, the way they've worked out. They've all tried different things, which is really good to see. It's good to see that it wasn't 1, 2, 3, bang, bang, bang in the pits. So that's awesome. Everyone's tried something a little bit different. Leonard stayed out. Visma tried the undercut. It worked. He came out a second further on Anthony, on Fitzpatrick, sorry, and now he's gapped Fitzpatrick by 2 seconds. So that's all works as strategy. Ty Delaney has missed out a little bit, but he's up 4 places with Dylan Gray, but he looks like he's catching Dylan slightly. He's got about 3/10 on Dylan, so we'll see that battle come back to us soon.
Apparently, John, he's gotten into chat. He said, I called race control. My comms working. What's going on? End of lap 10. I'd assume that was the moment with Rehan that he's referring to. So I don't know if it was because he pressed the tow back to pit button and he thought it was his radio button or what. Try again, John. I guess I would say try again. See if the comms are working. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no idea. We don't get to hear the comms always. I didn't hear you on comm on my.
Unless he's on the wrong channel. He might be on all teams and not drivers.
Because I've got the race in my right ear, so that was fairly quiet.
Yeah, and I have to have it turned down, otherwise it comes through the broadcast. So not 100% sure on that one, John. Unfortunately.
Chat is turned off in race.
Oh,
I can see the comms.
So the driver chat's turned off.
Yeah, Barbs, can you just check that, please?
Seems like he hasn't turned it on. Oh, I see. That was when Dooley hit the wall. I do apologise. Lap 10 was when Dooley hit the wall, not holding brakes. That was when John called it in. apparently. So
Okay.
it seems, John, the actual the driver chat hasn't been turned on, possibly, according to Sinker. So we'll get that sorted. We'll find out when it gets turned back on, and you'll have the opportunity to call it in, or raise a ticket after the race, and they'll have a
So he couldn't hear any communication. That's
Yeah.
understandable, mate. I'm not sure. There may be Barb's may be having issues. Who knows? But I'm sure he'll let us know soon. Paul Bruce is sitting there. He's making records, mate. He's doing faster lap times than I am at Oran Park, and he's in the pits.
So yeah, I'd say, John, just raise the ticket for it. They'll have a look, I'm sure. I think you had every right to call that incident in because it wasn't working, So
Yeah, it's working now.
yeah, but unfortunately he's not in the session. So I'd just say raise the ticket, and they'll have a look at it tomorrow.
All right, let's see. We've got some gapping out happening a bit. Is anyone going to need to pit again? No, probably got 12 minutes left. Maybe a few
Barb's
people
is
will
looking at it
last.
for him. Barb's looking at it for him. That's nice. Thanks, Barb's. Appreciate it. Dooley has called it in too. That's good. Then.
Yeah, he just did on then.
Yep.
A few gaps out. We've got Tide putting some pressure on.
I think
on the back of Dylan Gray at the moment. That's the closest thing we've got to battles.
You mentioned if anyone needs a pit stop, it might be Coleman because he came in on lap 8. He may be the only one that needs a stop. That might be a little bit too early to make it home. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Oh, Coleman's good enough to fuel save all the way home.
Well, mate, he's got his flask now. He should have a little bit of fuel in his car just in case he's going to run out and just pour it in.
I was about to say, I hope he's got his flask full of turps. He'll chuck it in the engine.
I saw on the timing. Then he was gonna. It said in pits and then stop. So he obviously crossed the line as he's coming in the straight. And I thought, oh, don't tell me he's coming in now. Oh no, but no, he's kept going. So.
Oh god, I'm gonna switch my cam to Dylan Gray.
I've done it for you. You can keep it. You can keep it on Rehan if you like, or we'll do the old double cam of I'll do some interior. You show us the exterior.
The boys are these boys have been fighting each other like crazy, and now, as we speak, and we finally found some battles are opening up again because Mulford is getting pressured by Stone Street and Peter Pavlovic. So they're having a bit of a duke out as well. Leonage is got 7 seconds on Visma. Visma's got 2 on Fitzpatrick. And the place for second and third has been pretty consistent all the way through. Those guys have been staying pretty much on that gap for a while, so they're doing same lap times. But looks like the minors are there for Ty Delaney and Dylan Gray.
This would be a great chunk of points for Ty. Obviously, he leads the championship. If he can get past Gray, even better. The only real other contenders that are actually gaining on him at that point is Visma and Leonage. We know that Leonage, if he wants to win the title, needs to win every single race the rest of the season if he hopes to put the pressure on him, since he has missed 2 rounds this season.
Yeah.
Where Ty just needs to get some consistent podium finishes, and he should lock this out for himself for a very impressive championship run thus far this season. That's the benefits of being consistent, being able to show up every single week and continue on.
John, well, that's exactly what we thought. You took the risk and binned it. That's pretty much did exactly the same what I would have done. Got out of the way and avoid contacting the lead drivers.
Yeah,
a very honourable thing to do, mate.
We were really what's what I'm trying to think of, like working through what may have been the answers for that. So we said, oh, maybe Rehan was in his way. It's Rehan's fault. We don't know. We didn't have a proper look at it. We kind of had one view. So
yeah. Generally, if I have a driver that's fast coming through, I will try to avoid getting in the line. That's what John's done, just getting in the line away and off you go. I'm not sure if there was anything to be apart from that. The fact that John was a bit of a knight in shining armour and thought instead of braking late and hitting this dude, I'm going to go wide. I've done it so many times, it's ridiculous. I still haven't got a knight in shining armour suit though.
Yeah, but that's because you hit the leader in one race. Who can forget Magny Core in the F3?
Oh,
never forget it.
Mate.
No, that was when you hit. That was when you hit Mr. Bellac when he was in the lead.
Oh yeah, that hurt, didn't it?
Yeah, that was an interesting one for sure. Was that under safety car?
No. No, it was basically what it was that he's a fast driver, and I did the toe that I got from him surprised me more than anything.
Yeah, you weren't ready for the fact you had to brake a bit earlier because of the toe.
Yeah, the toe just was a lot more. It was. I mean, I had toes for that race, but not to that speed level.
Yeah.
Because obviously he got really good exit out of the final corner.
Yeah.
And it just the fact that the toe was that powerful, and I broke my normal braking marker, and it was way too late.
Oh, car 216 drive-through penalty incident responsibility on lap 10. That is going to Peter Pavlovic. So it has been found out that the incident with, involving John Gallen, Troy Dooley, and Peter Pavlovic has been found to be at fault for Pav. So maybe he was determined to have initial contact with Troy, and that's what unsettled him. I'm not sure.
Mulford and Stone Street are getting really scared here.
Side by
Mulford's
side.
Locked it up. Yeah, he's locked it up as he's come into the final corner, and Mulford's and Stone Street's just dived in nicely with him, but he's looks like Stone Street's rear ends is not coping as well as Mulford's is.
I'll tell you what, Troy has really been coming into his own. He's been in the supercars scene, at least from what I can remember, for at least the last 12 months, just about. This guy was on somewhat of a revolutionary rise a couple of seasons ago. He was in Vets, came into Split 3. Currently the only driver that I know of who went straight from Split 3 to Split 1 sinker without having to go through Split 2 on promotion. But this guy was on some sort of a rise. He then came in, did East Coast as well, does SRW, got picked up by WKMP. He has been one of my favourites to watch for a long, long time now because he's got something about him. He just has something about him that I reckon if he could find that little extra bit, a little bit of magic or a little bit of on-track pace, this guy could be winning championships, and he's an extraordinary racer, and I love seeing him in battles like this with Mulford. He's doing incredibly well.
He has improved considerable since he joined WKMP.
Yeah.
You saw it straight away.
I think being with War Boys and even when Gamble was there as well, it helped him go up another level. You know, when he was on his own, he had great pace and he was a phenomenal racer. But being in WKMP, it's done something to him. It really has, and it's really upped his game, just that upper echelon level once again. So. Don't be surprised if we see Troy up the pointy end eventually with more and more time in the seat, more and more time among some fast drivers. Maybe a change of teams may even help him as well if he were to go to a different team, whether it was Drop Bear or even Phoenix or even Fishy. That would then help him go to that next level again, even ERT or someone like that. He's a guy that I think has proper potential to do quite well. I think it's just going to come down to whether he can find that pace or what it is that's just stopping the magic a little bit at the moment, but he is fantastic to watch. I love it.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a driver up on the up and up that's coming through. I mean, you look at progress Delaney's made over the last 2 seasons. It's been a massive jump.
Phenomenal.
He's coming of age. Yeah.
Same with Dylan as well. Dylan has been on a bit of a rise himself from someone who we look at every week and think, oh, he's going to be back in the field. He's going to struggle to come through the field. He's going to cause an incident too. Week in and week out, he's had some pace about him, but he's been doing a lot better in amongst the actual battle packs, which we love to see that improvement from drivers. And we want our drivers out there to have the best race that they possibly can in themselves, but also amongst other drivers as well, which is really, really good to see from Dylan, really improving on that.
100%. We are at the 36-minute mark, so we've got 3.5 minutes left.
And the gap for Rehan is 10.5 seconds.
Yeah, he's done a really good job out there. Ty Delaney and Dylan Gray are still fighting for the 4th place, and the rest of the team the rest of the drivers are really gapped out. Mulford and Stone Street are still fighting for minors down in the top 10. Unfortunately for Dooley and Pav Coleman, they've had a bit of an off night tonight. This is coming off Coleman. He's had really good the last 2 weeks.
How are we feeling for Bathurst next week, Sinker? Because I'm missing Tuesday, obviously, so I'm excited to see how Sunday goes. That's saying Dylan being coached by Rehan, by the way. Again, really, really good to see that he's been open to getting some training and improving himself, and Rehan being able to pass his knowledge on is absolutely fantastic. But Bathurst next week, double enduro, Tuesday and Sunday. Bit sad I'm missing Tuesday, but it's at least to make anyone else feel better. It is at least something that I would give up anything for, even Tuesday Supercars. So I don't feel too bad about it, but I'm excited for Sunday because these pro boys, Bathurst, full top 10 shootout and an 80-minute race is going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome. We have now got the white flag sinker. So Leonage is on for his swan song of a lap right now. What a dominant performance this has been from Rehan.
Great job tonight.
He has been driving out of his skin thus far. We mentioned he needs to try and maximise his races if he hopes to win this championship this season. It's pretty much down to him, Visma and Delaney for this title at this point. And Rehan has done exactly what he needed to do coming into Oran Park here tonight. Round the final corner for Rehan Leonage. Down towards the line he comes now. And he will take the double out at Oran Park for maximum points for Rehan Leonage. Anthony Visma's going to come across the line, P2 on the road in an exceptional performance. Blake Fitzpatrick will come home in an impressive podium position in P3, with Dylan Gray just surviving championship leader Ty Delaney to make it into P4. Delaney makes up the 5. Houghton, he's a bit further back. He's got this battle happening with Dodds at the moment. Well, he's not quite close enough. It is a big ass, Laz, but, you know, weirder things have happened to win other people a championship before. It's not out of the question just yet. Mark Houghton, though, across the line, P6 on the road. Doddsy comes home, P7. Cowie gets that top 10 here tonight, Sinker, with a P8 on the road. Melford and Stone Street will make up the top 10, with Dooley, Pavlovic and Coleman making up the rest of the running order. But what a race by this young fella here tonight across both races. Unbelievable stuff. It was a 12.6 second gap in the end, Sinker, for Rehan Leonage. And this kid, I mean, he is phenomenal.
RC's just putting all the teams in there, letting everyone know who's coming in.
I'm sure Rehan knows. He's been in that position long enough, hasn't he?
I think they all know. They had a quiet night out there, and so was Barb's by the look of it. There's not a hell of a lot's going on tonight in the ticket section by the look of it.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of the way things have gone with this track, I think, tonight. But Rehan Leonage, what a run home from the young fella. He's got 2 more races to maximise on positions. It may take Ty Delaney to have a poor run in one of them. He'll hope it'll be the final round where Ty's going to have a poor run, as he cannot drop that round, of course. But what a race for Rehan Leonage. We head into Bathurst next week with the final Australian round of the season, as well as the final Enduro of the season as well. Then we head over to the US, of course, for Road Atlanta in the final round. 2 races, Sinker, that could lend themselves well to actually having quite a bit of controversy out there for us.
And they are?
So we'll get some B-roll going, as Rehan already did his burnouts. He already took back to pit, so we'll get the B-roll going for everyone at home.
What happened to Coleman there? He must have missed it. Dropped the clutch too early. He just bogged right down, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He really bogged it down. Did we catch your classy pit entry, Cowie? I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not 100% sure if we did or not.
Dylan Gray got it just around him, didn't he?
Yeah, he did well.
Yeah.
We'll start out with Blake Fitzpatrick, though. Have a quick chat to him here tonight. Mr. Fitzpatrick, what a return to form for you, sir. Back on the podium once again, and we mentioned it a couple off-character weeks in the past, of course, but it is great to see you back on form, firing on all cylinders, mate. how does it feel to be back on that podium and having a fantastic race off the back of it as well?
Yeah, pretty good, boys. It's good. Always enjoy racing here.
You did well, mate. You did well. I did say to Hamish that you're going to be really hard to pass, and it's going to be come down to a pit strategies. And you did really well, mate. You gave him nothing. You planted the car where you needed it. You put the car in the positions you wanted to be, and your pace was good as well, mate. So confidence level up on this track?
No, not at all. This is the first time racing a supercar here.
Really?
Yeah, just I think confidence up lately. I don't know. I've been finding a bit of pace here and there.
Mate, I'll tell you what, for someone who hasn't driven this track before,
together.
You did really well. Really well.
Still a bit to go. Rayhan and Rayhan's a demon. He's too good.
Oh yeah, he's in another world. I'm gonna have to find some drivers out there that can come out and fight it out with him. We just got to keep him in the pack. Don't let him loose. Once he's loose out into the wind, mate, it's all over.
Well, Blake, Bathurst next week, of course, enduro action to come. Could be a tough task with 80 minutes of racing as well as a shootout, but how was it tonight? I mean, me and Sinker mentioned this track's a bit hard to get some passing happening. It's good for defending. What was it like in amongst the traffic, and how do you think that's going to help you apply it to Bathurst next week when we go racing for 80 minutes?
Not too sure, honestly. I think off the top of my head, Bathurst, if you don't qualify well, it's going to be pretty rubbish in the race because no one's really, I mean, besides the top guys, but no one's really going to be doing their quali laps at Bathurst in the race, if you know what I mean. So you'll lose a lot of time, I think. It'll all come down to quali.
Well, you've been known to have some strong qualifying performances in the past. Are you confident in your qualifying at Bathurst, or you kind of playing it by ear, see how you go when you rock up on the night?
I can't actually name a time. I think I raced the supercars at Bathurst when I first bought the supercar at the start of the year, but I don't know. Couldn't tell you how I'd go at Bathurst, to be honest. I'm good at Bathurst. I just don't think I've really driven a supercar there too much.
Is this your first year in a V8 supercar?
Yeah.
Oh, what a year! What a year you're having!
First year,
sensational.
Properly, yeah. I just drove open wheelers and then started the season. Started the year.
Well done,
Pretty much
mate.
when I joined Per, they threw me in the V8. I was like, oh yeah, I want to come learn a bit of the V8, and I never got out of it.
That is sensational. You know what, mate? For someone who's in their first year of the V8, you've got a natural affinity with this car. You're driving it like someone who's been driving it for years. Well done, mate. I didn't know that. Congratulations on that, mate. That's a massive. I should say that's a massive pelican feather on your hat.
Thank you, boys. I appreciate
it. To be mixing it with guys, like Visma, who's been racing this car for a long, long time. Cowie, Houghton, Tannick, as well as Rehan as well, and even Ty. That's exceptional for your first year in a supercar, mate. You should hold your head high for some incredible performances you've had thus far this year. You're looking strong for next season, so I hope you're able to put that full season together and really just find that little bit of pace that you might need to start challenging these boys at the front more often. But, mate, we so appreciate you coming over to chat to us here tonight. It was an exceptional performance from you in the feature.
Dude's won a championship in his second season.
I know. It's ridiculous.
I'm a bit of a hermit crab. I'm not going to sit
ridiculous.
here and most of the guys I'm racing have kids and families and stuff. Do you know what I mean? I can put a bit more time in, but not to sound cliche. A lot of it goes to the guys I'm racing. Like, I don't know, you get quicker racing quicker people.
That is awesome effort, dude. I didn't realise this was your first season of V8 Supercar. You won a title in your second season. That's spectacular, mate. All right, I'm not going to give you a big head, but you know what? Hats off to you. That's friggin' awesome.
Appreciate it, boys.
If I did that, Hamish,
I'd
probably stop racing and put my hat on the hook and say I did it in the first season.
Well, you stopped racing this season, Singer, but you didn't win the championship, so you're halfway there. But
oh damn!
Oh, Blake, we so appreciate you coming over to chat to us, mate. Congratulations on your performance here tonight. Let us know, helps get you and Pacific Esports Racing out on track. Anyone else we should give a shout out to as well. And for myself and Singer, congratulations on your P3 out at Oran Park.
Thank you, boys. I appreciate you a lot. Have a good night.
You too, mate. Thanks heaps. Best of luck at Bathurst.
See you, boys.
All right.
Let's
Wow.
drag in Mr. Visma. Mr. Anthony Visma, what was your thoughts on that race? Because you came in for that undercut, and the next lap you come past Blake Fitzpatrick's coming out of the lane, and it almost ruined your undercut chances of trying to at least jump both Blake and Rehan. But a P2 on the road, nonetheless. A phenomenal performance from you, mate. How was that running in the traffic out there at Oran Park?
Oh, mate, this track's, even if there's no traffic, it's hectic. So I was just talking around. You got to, even though it's fast track, a lot of corners, you just got to be smooth, and I have a bit of trouble with that sometimes. But I was happy with tonight. Rehan come out right in front of me when he done his pit stop, and he just laid down like really low 104s for about 5 or 6 laps, and I just thought, there's no need for this. This has been broadcast, you know. So, like I wasn't. There's no chance I was going to race him anyway. But he just shows you where you should be and teaches you a lesson. So back to the drawing board. But I'm still happy, you know. Got a result. Had a pretty good race. Bit disappointed in the first race with all the carnage, but it is what it is, and you just move on.
Yeah, that was one of the things I said to Hamish. He said, "What would you do if you're behind Rian now when you come out the pits?" I said, "I'd get behind him and try to learn something."
Well, that's exactly what I wanted to do, but it didn't last.
It's just too fast.
3 or 4 corners, I needed binoculars. So, and I knew that was going to happen. But he's at the top of his game. He's a very good driver. He's a young kid, so good on him. Go your hardest, mate.
Yeah. Well, it gives other drivers something to aspire to, eh?
Oh, 100%. Like it's like I don't get disappointed. It just shows you where you should be and what you should be doing on a track like this, and just sort of reset and go, well, yeah, I need to do a bit more work, you know.
Yeah. Oh, just watching you go around the corner at the back of the hill on 2 wheels, man. How'd the car feel out there tonight? On ice, or did you happy your setup?
Oh, look, I was just running the standard VRS setup, and I had Greg helping me tonight, which was great. It's so much easier, and I just needed to stay off the curbs more because the car didn't handle the curbs at all. It just bounced and get off the line, and you'd have to back off, and coming over that crest into the last corner, I was out of control after the time. So just need to be a bit smoother, calm down a bit, and just concentrate on my entry exits and go from there.
Well, mate, stellar job. Second step is a bloody good night on a Sunday night. Driving was exceptional. Strategy worked really well. It was part of the excitement for the night for me and Hamish. Who gets you out on track, mate, and supports Mr. Visma?
I'd just like to thank Greg for helping me out tonight. Abbey Timber, Primal Wheels, Box and Lock Narang, Modern Deck. You guys, I love the series. It's great broadcast. A lot of good competitors. So I look forward to Sunday night.
Excellent, mate. Well, congratulations and good luck for the rest of the week, mate.
No worries. Thanks very much.
I just want to quickly shout out Sinker. Ever since I first saw this Accelerate Sim Racing car, this has been one of my favourite cars on any Supercars grid I ever call. I love this orange, white, and black livery. It looks so good.
Yeah, it's a classy livery.
It's so good. But from a classy livery and a classy driver in Anthony Visma, we got to bring in another classy driver in Mr. Rehan Leonage. Mate, off the back of the Sandown 500 on Friday night, you come in here on Sunday and just absolutely pants the competition. 7 odd seconds in the first race, 12.5 seconds in the second race. Buddy, how are you just this quick in a supercar, and how are you just able to put laps like that consistently throughout a whole race? Because you are like an alien out there.
I think it all just comes down to the experience, and it's not just about doing laps and practice. It's about practicing things right. And I think that's what we got done early when I started Supercars, and then it's just gone uphill from there.
What do you do with a practice session? Will you do track specific practicing, or will you just your practice is just really getting sharp, making break points? How do you usually work for practice for yourself?
Well, nowadays don't really do as much as we used to. Um, it's just about getting up to speed, doing some setup changes if we need, and getting out there. But what it used to be was making sure, like, I have good people to compare to for pace, and then seeing where I can improve, looking at replays, etc.
Yep. Do you and Dad sit down and go for your races and assess, what you've done here, what you've done there, what you could have done better?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when there's like heated battles, like there was a bit earlier on in the race, and made a couple mistakes. Normally we'd do a bit of analyzing of that, see what I could have done better and stuff. Yeah, and see what other people have done well as well.
Okay, so if Dad sees a killer move, you'll go through it and you guys will have a look at it, how it was created, what happened, the whole situation. That's a good thing to learn by. I think that's a key thing that a lot of drivers don't do yet at this level or in sim racing full stop, is going back and reviewing the races in a bit more detail, like you would do in real world. Like in real world, you'd go out there and you'd watch the whole race and you'd have your engineers would go through this corner, that corner, this is where we should improve, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, look, that's good to hear that you guys are doing that, and I guess that's why you're racing at the top end of the pro field.
Yeah, definitely. I think like supercars teams in real life, like racing there with how little races there are per year, it teaches you a bit more to analyze the things because you've got a lot more time to prep for the next races and stuff. So whereas here you can race almost every day if you do officials and stuff. So yeah, I think the people in real life probably have that advantage. They get that off the bat, and your engineers, their job after all is to analyze things with you. But yeah, in sim racing, like a lot of that you have to figure out yourself. There'll always be, guides on YouTube nowadays if you need anything.
Yep.
Well,
so I guess
just to quickly piggyback off that, just quickly, how often are you guys running through data as well, Rehan, and running through whether it's a program like VRS or Garage 61, and actually comparing your data not only to yourself, from yourself and to your teammates, but even to some of your other competitors who might be out on track as well, whether it's Madison Down, James Scott, even a Scott Gamble as well. How often do you guys do that as a team?
We don't really do it that much. We don't, like, when we do, we don't look at it together. Generally, it's like if you want to find time out of yourself, then you go have a look at data. You like analyze what you can get out of it, and if you need help, we'll be here to help with that. But yeah, if we feel like we really need some data analysis, then we'll always have a look at that. Always fun to look at data.
Yeah. Well, what I'm hearing is come out on a Sunday night, race with some really cool drivers, some really respectful drivers at SRW. Get your racecraft up to point. Get yourself some good coaching, and you are on the right track to becoming a very, very good driver. Unlike very much like yourself, and you didn't do it here, but I mean, I can see that drivers going around the traps can learn from that in a massive way. Yeah, look, mate, another spectacular performance. Couple more races to go, and you're still in there for a title hunt. I'm not sure if Scops gets in the way for the rest of the season or not.
I don't think it does. I think they had their last round a few weeks ago for this season specifically.
Yeah, so that means that you're in for a good fight till the very end. I think it's going to be down between you and young Ty Delaney.
Yeah, definitely been looking at the champ points every round, gaining little by little. So I think especially with the Bathurst Enduro round next week, it'll be a bit more points on offer. So yeah, it'll be interesting, but it's going to be very tough.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, mate, congratulations on an epic drive, and it's great to see you out there tearing it up, making your way through the field as well as cleanly as you did. Some great passes, great manoeuvres. Loved the little battles you had on the way through. Who gets you on track and supports you?
Yep, so I'd like to thank Hybrid Racing Simulations, Melbourne Hydrographic Stepper, Prestige Syntography, Aramex Australia, DHF Tires, RSW Graphics, Bubbles and Balloons, and Phoenix Driver Development. As you know, mentioned a couple times, getting a bit more out of you, we will help with that. We do group coaching sessions if you sign up for per season setups and stuff. Yeah, you can message us if you want any one-on-one things. We've had a couple people in here even that have improved from that. And I'd like to thank admin and race control and you guys, of course, putting on the stream. Yeah.
Rehan, just so people are aware out there, just because you do mention it week in and week out, you're welcome to mention if you want to, but what's sort of your guys' price ranges on that stuff, just in case anyone out there might be looking for a bit of a deal, and it might help them get a little bit more information based on your training.
Honestly, it depends what you're looking for. Price is different, obviously, for one-on-one things compared to group stuff. So message Phoenix Driver Development on Facebook, or you can message me or Dad on Discord, and we'll sort things out.
Very good, mate. Well, great to have you here with us once again. Congratulations on another victory here tonight. Double victory for yourself, a round win as well. Best of luck for Bathurst next week for the Enduro. Look forward to seeing how you go, mate. And for whatever out-of-worldly reason we may not be talking to you next week, best of luck at Road Atlanta in the final round the week after.
Yep, thank you. See you guys next time.
Thanks, buddy.
Well done, mate. Congratulations, legend.
Well, Sinker, another awesome night of racing once again, and it crescendos us towards what could be one of the races of the season next week with the Bathurst Enduro on offer. Qualifying, top 10 shootout, and 80 minutes of racing around Australia's most famous race circuit. Could you think of a better way to spend a Sunday night at the start of September next week?
Oh, mate, I look forward to my Sunday nights. By Sunday, I am tapped. I'm exhausted. I'm mentally wore down. And I come into the room and I'm like, oh, I've got to do this show now. But then as soon as the mic turns on, you just get so pumped. And these boys deserve so much of our attention because the jobs they do is sensational. And it's going to be epic, mate. Bathurst, traditional home of the V8. Quality of drivers we're going to have. The field we're going to have is going to be off its nut. It's going to be Tuesday. You're going to miss Tuesday night, mate. I'm sorry for you, but you're missing Tuesday night.
I know.
And Tuesday night is going to be epic. Those boys are going to lift it to another level, and then we're going to come here on Sunday night, and these boys are going to lift it to the next level again.
I know. I mean, it's as I mentioned, Tuesday. I would normally love to be there. It is literally a one-off thing that I would give my life to be at. Outside of a Tuesday broadcast.
I've got to rub it in.
That's fine. I get to see my favorite band live for the first time, so it's a bittersweet moment.
If you want to hear a Pom and an Aussie commentating a V8 supercar race next Tuesday night at Bathurst, the home of the V8 supercar, make sure you tune in at 7 p.m. because it's an early start. It's a top 10 shootout.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying that?
It'll be 10 to 7. Yeah, 10 to 7 will be the Australian Eastern Standard Time.
So it's going to be an epic night. Epic night.
It will be. And if for whatever reason a driver wants to race, they can't make qualifying, you just send a message to Race Control. They'll organise for you to get onto the grid for the race, of course, as well. So it'd be bittersweet for me not to be there on Tuesday once again, but I look forward to calling the final round the week after, regardless. A big week of racing to come, though. The 8th round of the season for the majority of our series on offer here in SRW. You guys do not want to miss any of the action. Be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, and the bell icon, so you are notified whenever we go racing this upcoming week and in any future weeks of racing as well. Of course, Tuesday, Bathurst for the Enduro. Warren Brown Tools, we get Supercars Series with JP and Sinker in the booth for a second week in a row. It's going to be absolutely awesome. You guys do not want to miss it. Super Formula Lights, those guys on Wednesday night, myself and Hutto in the booth. We'll be heading out to Brands Hatch for some awesome sprint action. That's going to be
close to the Nationals.
We are.
Getting close to the Nationals.
We are indeed, and it's coming down to the absolute wire for that top 20 as well. It's going to be awesome to see. 8-6s on Thursday. They'll be heading out to the Hungaro ring for a normal round for the Friday night double bubble. The Legends will be heading out to Bathurst. No, they'll be heading out to Oran Park. Sorry, they'll be heading out I'm forgetting that they are a week offset because of the old technical dramas that happened at the start of the season. They'll be heading out. They'll be heading here to Oran Park this coming Friday for some awesome action. The GTDs. They'll be heading to Daytona, so hopefully we can get some numbers up this week and broadcast that one. And then Sunday night we'll be back at Bathurst for another Enduro event for the Warren Brown Tools We're at Supercars Series. It's going to be absolutely awesome. You do not want to miss any of the action. Sign-ups will be going up very, very shortly for next season, ladies and gentlemen. That being for every single series that we offer, of course. To race in the Legends World Challenge, all you need to be is a registered driver with SRW, and you can sign up for that one straight away. If you would like to race in the Tuesday night Supercars, Wednesday night Super Formulas, Thursday night 8.6s, and Sunday night Supercars for next season, then you need to be a subscriber to race in those series. GTs at the moment, it's not looking like it's going to happen next season, Sinker. We're most likely going to use next season to plan ahead for season 1 if we were to introduce another series.
Watch this space.
Yeah, watch this space. There'll be more news to come on that one, guys, but it's not looking as likely at the moment. But we will provide you with all the news, as always, on what will be occurring. But we have to give massive thank as well to all of our series sponsors, including our title sponsors, Warren Brown Tools, for their continued support, as well as Cooler Master and Shannon's Insurance, as well to all of our other sponsors, NeuroPower, DSL Railway Service, Shunt Scenery, and Grim Industries, the home of the V8 coffee table, which can be seen on Prime Video's Top Gear Australia. But for myself, Hamish Munro, and Steve Sinkovic alongside me once again, we thank you for your time. We thank you for being here with us once again. But we'll see you guys Tuesday night with JP and Sinker back in the booth for the Supercars at Bathurst. And until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because, tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from us.